Okay. So bit frustrating day already so far. So, man. First off, I've been having a fucking hard ass time getting my Hognose snake to eat, the one that I bought like a month and a half ago from a reptile show. I got him to eat twice, about a week apart when I first got him, and then just the past 2 weeks, he just refuses. Like, I'll put the mouse in, he'll be like, and then he just goes away. And I emailed the breeder finally. It took me a while to find the card that I got from him so I could remember who I got it from. And he said that he's probably in brumation and I should just turn everything off and leave him alone until February. And I did web searching and stuff like that, and was reading about the stuff before I emailed him. And what I read is that snakes in captivity, or hognose snakes in captivity, don't usually go into brumation as long as you've got a heat source on and stuff. And I do, I have a heating pad or whatever, but he said that the cage is too big, so the snake is just going to go on the side that doesn't have the heat. And I'm just confused because I'm like, well, there's heat right there. Why wouldn't the snake go to the heat? But anyway, so he said basically turn everything off and just leave the snake alone until February, which I understand that snakes can go a long time to eat without eating, but to me it just feels really strange to not feed a pet for several months. um, and I asked if that also includes holding the snake, and he hasn't replied to that yet, but I'm assuming yes, which makes me a little sad because I like holding Azzy. He's pretty chill when I hold him. Like, he'll move around a little bit, but he doesn't like go crazy, and a lot of times he'll just chill in my hand. But whatever keeps the snake happy. I don't know. How do you know if your snake is starving to death if they can go months without eating? That's just so wild to me. Um, so that's frustrating. The other frustrating thing, or another frustrating thing that happened, is apparently Link, my 5-year-old, has been laying on the floor in the bus on the way to school. And he's on his last chance today. If he gets out of his seat again today, he's not going to be allowed to ride the bus, and I'm going to have to drive him to school every morning, which is going to be super fun. The school is close, but it pisses me off that I can't make my child behave when he's not, with me. And I don't know, I had a parent teacher meeting with his teacher a couple weeks ago. The whole week was conferences with parents, and I asked, you don't even have to do one, I asked for one because I want to hear or whatever. And she's this older lady, and she said he's very sweet or whatever, and is very eager to like show her what he's learned and stuff like that. The problem is that he has a wild imagination and doesn't follow prompts to do, like she showed me an example where they were supposed to draw a picture of the new playground and talk about what they wanted to do on it the most, slides or whatever. And he drew the park, but then he drew like aliens and stuff, and then he was supposed to write out what he wants to do, and he just started doing like symbols. And supposedly he can read, simple little books. But he I don't know. It's hard for me to get him to work with me when he gets home, because we read a book every night. We always have, and I'll try to get him to spell it out, and he's just like, I don't know, like he doesn't even try. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm not expecting him to behave himself. So I guess I'm gonna have to drive him to school every day. And I didn't get to ride a bus, except for a very brief period when I was growing up, because my parents always would fight to put me in the bed. Like, they would get a house in the lower economic areas, not the lowest, but not the super nice ones. But then they would fight to get me put in the nice schools. So I never had a school that I had a bus route that went to. I always had to walk, or I had to well, yeah, I always walked. My dad would walk with me, which, I had some happy memories of that or whatever, but also I was an only child, and I wasn't a maniac like my kids. Aiden, oh my god, Aiden's been really bad. But yeah, literally today, I just ordered a fidget cube thing, keychain thing, and I'm gonna try to give that to him and maybe keep him occupied on the bus using that, hopefully. I don't know. It's weird because, in daycare or whatever, I briefly had him at a Montessori for 3 months right when Aiden was born. So, 3 years ago when Link was only like 2.5. And I would get so stressed out every time I went to go pick him up because they always had something to complain about. Oh, he pooped himself, or oh, he didn't put the toys away, or there was a nut and he had trail mix for, because I had to make his food, because using the food there costs like an extra $100 a month, or $200, something like that. Anyway, or there was a nut in his food and some other kid might touch the nut and die. It's like, well, don't let the other kids food. But anyway, or he wore a shirt that had a Batman, like was decorated to look like Batman. And they were like, oh, we don't let the kids wear that because they think they're superheroes. I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, so yeah, that has been my only experience before now of having Link be out of the house with strangers. And like I said, I literally was like stressed out every time I picked him out because they always found something to complain about. And it was just like, So I'm having, flashbacks to that. But the thing that's weird about public school is like the kids are required to be in school unless you get some kind of exemption or whatever. And, the teacher said that he's very sweet. He's always saying, I love you. And he's like nice to other kids or whatever, which is good. I mean, he's wild at home, but that's to his brother. It's, different with family. But, so it doesn't sound like he's doing anything that would cause him to get kicked out of the class. It's just the bus. And it's just, I've always been nervous about what do I do if my kid is turning into a bully. Like, I have these conversations with him all the time, be nice. You want to be nice to people because you want them to be nice to you. And, you want to set a good example for your brother and like all this stuff, but I can't make my child do what I want him to do. And so I've just always been afraid of, what do I do if my kid's turning out to be a bully? Now, again, the teacher said he's very sweet, so it sounds like he's not. But yeah, I just, whenever there's a real jackass, people are always like, what did their mothers teach them? And I do think a lot of it is shitty parenting. I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse's mother. But sometimes, there's so many other factors that go into how a person is raised. Speaking of, and get into that in just a second, that sometimes, even if a parent's trying their best, the kid still turns out to be a nightmare from television, from their friends, from, maybe they just have a psychological impulse to be violent. Anyway, so yeah, just kind of stressful that I can't make Link behave. Hopefully the little fidget cube comes quickly and is enough to at least somewhat occupy him. They're not supposed to bring toys and such to school, but it's a keychain, so I can put it on his backpack. So hopefully they allow that. And then the third thing that annoyed me today actually just happened about 10 minutes ago. So Aiden was watching Peppa Pig on YouTube, because Peppa Pig I don't think is on any of the streaming services that we have. And of course, ads are playing every 30 seconds because it's YouTube. But first of all, the ads are always like way louder than the show, which is endemic to everything. It's on regular cable and such too. Although we really don't ever watch the regular cable. We have like a TV Plus thing that came with the TV that's sort of like cable. But anyway, but the other thing is that even though the account that I log in onto YouTube, which when my dad looks up stuff, he doesn't understand that, so he'll just leave it on my account, which is, enabled to watch adult content. But I have the Link's Plays account that is, the one that I post the videos that I've done with Link on, although I've only got a few up there. The list of videos to try to edit never ends. Anyway, I have it logged in on Link's Plays, and Aiden was watching Peppa Pig, and it jumps to an ad break, and it's a music video of some teenage girl screaming, fuck you, fuck you. It's like, fuck you in your car, fuck you in your shitty ass car, or something like that. Like, those are the lines. And it was a music video that started playing in an ad break on Peppa Pig. Meanwhile, my super censored videos, you know, featuring heinous female nipples with everything blurred out. Again, toplesstopics.org/banned will show you all my banned you know, not all of it even, but it'll show you hundreds of screenshots of a lot of my banned content. I don't always bother taking a screenshot because it just happens so often. That gets banned for, you know, being porn. Already censored female nipples. Literally just me sitting here talking just like this, but without a shirt, gets banned as porn. But my kid is watching, you know, a kids show, a internationally accredited kids show, and an ad break starts screaming "fuck you" at my 3-year-old. If only I just threw money at YouTube, I too could post whatever I want. And of course, you know, blah blah blah, Alex Jones, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, etc., etc., literally made into superstars on YouTube, but I get banned. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a little stressed out. I have been making some progress on like cleaning up the garage. I got a work table that I set up yesterday, except that the instructions were shit. So it was a lot of trial and error to figure out how to put it together. But yeah, I got that, and I got a drill press. So, because a lot of times when I'm trying to make stuff, it'd be really nice to be able to make a hole straight down, especially when I'm building up stuff with the cages and stuff for the frogs and everything. Which, by the way, all the frogs, I had 2 left, as I said previously. I had 2 left, and they got out of the cage somehow, and 2 more salamanders disappeared. So I have 1 salamander. I've had 1 salamander for a while now. Luckily, he eats very well. I've been giving him earthworms because the white worms, it's hard to find a place to get the white worms. But at this point, the white worms are kind of small anyway. So the earthworms are kind of better. It's just annoying because I have to cut them into segments to feed them, and then, you know, there's a dead worm. So, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm gonna try to just let the snake be for a few months and fight against my feelings that it's gonna starve to death. I also keep having anxiety about the basically timeshare, except it's not really a timeshare, that my mom signed up for when I was 10 years old. The ranch, it's a dude ranch down in California that as a kid we would visit, and like I'd go horseback riding and stuff like that. But when my mom signed it, she signed up this like lifetime contract thing to pay it forever, and you know, she kept paying the dues, $700, $800 a year. It was originally like $400 a year, and then it just kept going up year to year. She's been paying it all these years, even though we don't even live down there anymore, and she didn't have the health to go down there or whatever, because they did this lifetime contract thing or whatever. And I sent them a copy of her death certificate, and I sent them a note saying, my mom is dead. We're not going to pay your bills anymore. And she always paid it because she was worried about them trashing her credit or whatever. I found the copy of the contract, and there's nothing in there about credit or, you know, being sued, or it literally just says that access to the ranch will be revoked if we don't pay. We're just like, oh no, like we're not going to be able to go 1,000 miles south to a piece of shit. Like they also, their main drawing point when my mom signed up was they had access to this lake, this fishing lake, which we didn't really care about fishing, but it was nice to walk around. And they lost it a few years after my mom bought it. They lost access to it to a land developer. And, you know, super false advertising that they lost their main draw. And there was even an email, and I printed it out and sent it along with the letter that I sent, where the owner of the ranch said that there wouldn't be any fee or anything for anyone who wanted to cancel their membership because they lost access to the lake. So I printed that out and included it as the letter. But I'm nervous, even though the contract doesn't say anything about, you know, credit or whatever like that. They like to send these big red payment overdue notices or whatever. And like you go online and you see other people that are saying like, I couldn't go anymore, but they still kept sending me bills or whatever. And I don't know if they were sending the bills and people were just getting scared and paying it, or if they actually like threatened some kind of legal thing. I don't know. But I talked to this guy a couple months ago, when I originally was casting about online, trying to figure out what to do or whatever. And his job is to connect people with timeshares with a lawyer to try to get rid of the timeshare. And there's a whole bunch of scams out there of places that say pay us and we'll sell your timeshare to someone else. And my mom did a lot of those. And so, you know, my mom's phone, I actually took the SIM card out. We bought off the phone, and Matthew wants to keep the line to eventually give to Link, even though it gets 12 million spam calls a day. So I took the SIM card out. And anyway, so this guy was like, and I mean, it was a high pressure sales, I could tell for sure, but he was saying like, oh, a lot of these timeshares, they're owned by bigger companies and they'll sue you for money owed and you have to pay for the judge's time and all this other stuff. And maybe for like an actual giant timeshare that owns all these, you know, shell companies or whatever, I could see that. The one that my mom signed up for is just a piece of shit property. Like it's not this conglomerate. So I really can't conceive of them going to all that trouble, especially when we live so far away. But it's just scary. It's just scary not knowing if they're gonna like throw some, you know, oh, we're suing you for all money owed, blah 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 bullshit. Theoretically, you know, I can't inherit the debt, and my dad doesn't have any income and he doesn't have any assets or anything. Like he has like Social Security, but that's it. So I don't know. And he, you know, he's not going to buy anything. He doesn't know how to buy anything. He's completely helpless. So I don't know what they would even do to him, but you know, even if they don't have any legal right to do any of that, if they try, I'd probably have to hire a lawyer to fight it. And there goes $10,000 down the drain or whatever it is. Just taking over all my dead mom's bullshit that she left for me to clean up. She knew she was dying for 15 years and she still couldn't be bothered to consolidate stuff. But on the flip side, on the good side of things, my Huion tablet came, and I haven't touched it for a couple of days because I've been doing like I said, cleaning the garage and stuff like that. But it came and I spent like the whole day drawing on it, and it's really it feels really nice drawing straight on the tablet. It's a lot bigger than I expected, so it's not quite as like I can't just sit there and draw on the couch. But you know, I have my desk set up so I can see the TV with the rest of the family anyway and draw on there. So I'm trying to draw. Well, maybe not every day, but at least one full picture a week or whatever. And I'm still, you know, trying to do my one sewn outfit a week. I was working on Link's costume, which, you know, was supposed to be done for Halloween, but I had bought him another one. But I finished Aiden's in time for Halloween, so he got to wear that one. But anyway, so yeah, art-wise, I've been doing stuff like that. And my headache hasn't been terrible for the last week. It's been pretty low grade. I don't know if that's going to last or not. Link is scheduled to get his first Pfizer shot this Friday, which I'm very excited about. I could have done it on Thursday, but I was like, no, I'm not going to make someone work on Thanksgiving, even if it is, you know, a life-saving vaccine. But so I'm excited for that. I'm going to get a Moderna booster on the 27th, so, you know, 2 weeks from now. And I'm a little nervous about it because I had basically no reaction to the Pfizer shots, the first two that I got. And I don't know if that might be because I already have long COVID and stuff like that, but I'm just kind of nervous that the Moderna will actually wipe me out as it has been to other people. But at the same time, you know, the reason I sought out the Moderna instead of the Pfizer is hoping that it would help with my long COVID. So, all right, I'm going to go try to get, I'm going to go draw some more and get some of that out. So see you guys later.